I've often said that it's just a matter of time before some big company using AI gets into some serious trouble. It's the classic Silicon Valley playbook, moving quickly and breaking things. But this time, big tech is not destroying the lives of children, they're breaking trust in our institutions. A former McKinsey employee alerted me to this, and I felt compelled to share it immediately. That's because it underlines a central thesis that I have on this channel, that cloud AI is not yet safe enough to be trusted. The irony is that this is actually about McKinsey, with 43,000 employees and decades of proprietary research being hacked in 2 hours by an AI agent. This is genuinely frightening, and it should make every CEO stop and think. Management consulting is perhaps one of the industries most at risk from generative AI. That's because the training has involved ingesting a vast amount of content from various sources, some good and some not so good, in order to provide really smart sounding answers. But management consulting also stands to gain from generative AI, especially if it can be trained over highly curated and well-structured data sources. McKinsey knows that, so they built an internal AI platform called Lily. It was named after the first professional woman the firm ever hired back in 1945, which is kind of nice, I guess. Lily wasn't a prototype, it was a real production system built by world-class engineers from one of the world's most well-resourced organizations. But in February this year, a security research company called CodeWall pointed their offensive agent at it, and boom, 2 hours later, they had full read-write access to the entire production database. Now, what gets me is that the vulnerability wasn't exotic. It wasn't like the Roham attack that the University of Toronto exposed. This was classic SQL injection, the oldest trick in the book. The AI agent found the API documentation was exposed and identified two unprotected endpoints, which allowed user search queries to be written to the database. Now, this exposed details of commercial conversations that McKinsey employees had with their AI, their clients, their strategy, active deals, and it included PowerPoint decks, spreadsheets, and Word documents. There were 3 million chunks of RAG document data, which included decades of McKinsey's proprietary frameworks and methodologies. This is their intellectual crown jewels sitting in a database that anyone could read. Now, in some sense, they were lucky that this was made public, because the attackers also revealed the system prompts. These are the instructions that tell the AI how to behave. So in theory, an attacker could have rewritten those prompts directly in the database, and all the advice from that point forward could have been poisoned. And of course, because it came out of a trusted system, nobody would have found that for ages. Imagine the lawsuits that could have ensued from advice which clients took that had been poisoned. This is the core problem with cloud AI and AI agents for that matter. While everyone's getting very excited about how quickly they can do things and spin up code, they're forgetting the basics, the boring stuff like risk, controls, and evidence. Now, this isn't the first and it won't be the last, because there's still a lot about this technology that we're still discovering. But the last thing we need right now is big tech pushing experimental technology onto us and us throwing away all the traditional business processes and checks and balances in order to be first. I'll link the full CodeWall research below, and I'd love to hear your insights in the comments. And remember, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.